feel like I should take a shot of Bailey's before I go to bed so I can actually sleep at night. Hey guys, what's up? It's Jace Daniel and I am deceased. I have green tea on this side right here. I just can never sleep. But I have some great updates for you guys, and I'm also going to be giving you guys some more advice which has to do with my updates. So first off, I have some news for you from Wednesday, January 11th, 2017. I went to my first HRT, hormone replacement therapy, consultation. I saw a gender therapist and it was in another town. They have a transgender clinic and I got approved to go on T, and I'm like so stoked, guys. I went to the trans clinic, which it was awesome. It made me like feel really welcome and stuff, and they called me by my preferred name and used my preferred pronouns. So I did get approved for T, and the consultation with the gender therapist, so it was about an hour and a half. So I don't know how long it would take for you guys to go through HRT consultation, but I'm going to talk to you guys about how to start T, like how to get on T, you know, going through that process of being able to get on T and so forth. So I am 22, so I'm an adult and I can do things as I please, like it's fine. If you live in a transphobic household, I would suggest you hold off, or maybe like look for groups of support around you, or like LGBT housing that could take you if you are worried that, you know, you start this and your parent or whoever you live with is going to be transphobic and kick you out. Obviously, your safety is important first, so keep that in mind and consider that. But if you are a minor, I'm pretty sure that you have to go to a gender therapist, and then they will, after your first assessment, they will declare whether they think you need more sessions or not. And some people, they have just one session and then they can go on T. It really depends on the therapist, and also depends, you know, we have gender therapy in place and informed consent clinics in place for trans people. So the harsh way of putting it is so they can see if you're trans enough. The actuality is that so they can see if you've carefully weighed out the pros and cons and if you're really ready to start T, which again goes back to the messed up way. But you do need to see someone who specializes in gender. So a gender therapist would be the easiest. My health insurance is Kaiser, so I went through Kaiser. First, you ought to see if your health insurance has a trans clinic near you. If they don't, and like it doesn't even have to be in your town, because mine wasn't in my town. Mine was like 30 minutes or so away. It just make it easier. But if you have one nearby you, that would be great. If there isn't, look for informed consent clinics if you're an adult, because I don't think you can go to an informed consent clinic if you're not. If you're a minor, then you have to have like your parents' permission. If you're an adult, then you can go to a gender therapy. That might take a while, because I know I was watching Uppercase Chase 1, his videos on that, and he said that for him it took like 8 months. I think he was in high school though, I don't really remember. I'm 22, I'm in college, like I don't need a parent's consent. If not, try to look for another place. I was trying to look for an informed consent clinic before I knew that my health insurance had a semi-nearby trans clinic. Look for one, like maybe if you're like sketchy like about like the prices and stuff, about seeing a gender therapist, because therapy in general can be expensive. So gender therapy, like, I mean, it might be the same price, it might be more, I'm not really sure. It depends on where you live also, it depends on your type of insurance and how much that covers it, like co-payments and stuff. If you can look for a center that does like gender therapy that pays mostly for low income families, which is initially what I found, and I thought it was an informed consent clinic, but they're like, oh, you might be better going off through your health insurance because it would be cheaper that way. So I did that. So some questions that they might ask you during gender therapy, and this is what they asked me. It's not like for everyone, like I don't know how it is in Australia or like England or like Malaysia or something. First off, make sure you know everything there is to know about T, about testosterone, because when I say they, I mean my therapist. She was like, what are you looking forward to when you start T? What are some cons? You know, do the the pros outweigh the cons, and for me that was a yes. Like, I'm not looking forward to like the acne, because like my skin is not great. Like the receding hairline, maybe not. I heard it's also like your genes. I ask questions like while she was talking, interrupt her. Intercept. Make sure you ask your questions as well. She asked me about like infertility, like, if I would want to have a kid, like carry a kid when I'm older, and then how like tea could affect that if you start tea, and then if you also want to carry kids, tea could interfere with that. She asked me, rats. She asked me like about my past, she asked me about my mental health, she asked me about, things that could possibly interfere with tea, again, because you really need to do your research, because tea can affect people's moods, it can make them like angrier and more irritable. Initially I started talking about gender expression, and then I was going to lead that into gender identity, but then she interrupted me and like she was like, well, that what you're describing right there, that's more gender expression, you had a more masculine expression. I'm talking about gender identity, and then like she went off and like explained it and stuff, and I was like, yes, like in my mind I'm just like, yes, I know what gender expression and gender identity mean. But she was like, oh, like cutting your hair and changing your clothes. Like in my mind I'm just like, no, I wanted to cut my hair because I want to look like I passed, like not because, oh yes, I want to express myself as masculine. Like, yes, that, but that is also having to do with me wanting to pass, which like when I bind my chest and stuff, like I don't look like a masculine person, I look like a child. You know how I know that? Because the Starbucks that I normally go to, the guy working there, and you have to be 21 or older to work there, because at that one they sell alcohol, and they're like my age because I'm 22, and they're like, this guy was like, oh, I see you doing homework here all the time, like when I was in school for last semester. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, so you do go to the high school or the middle school? And I'm like, I'm a college student. But yeah, they asked me about that, and then she also kind of asked about like puberty, like, oh, was that like, something that, hit you hard, about like your gender identity, and then like also like, what makes you feel dysphoric. That's, what I went on about. And then they'll ask you a bunch of questions. They'll ask you if you have like a good support system. After you get approved to go on T, if it is not at your main clinic, then when the information gets back to your main physician, if you don't have an endocrinologist, they ask them to refer you to one. And like, I'm not out to my main physician, like no one at my main clinic knows that I'm trans, except now they do. I don't have an endocrinologist, which, it's basically, they like take a bunch of blood work to see if you have anything that could interfere with taking hormones and whatnot. So hopefully, if that works out, that date for my appointment, it is January 24th. I can't really sign it sooner because it interferes with my school schedule, and I start school next Tuesday, the 16th, 17th. If I'm not at school, I'm also working, or I have like homework to do, or I will have homework to do and stuff, so I really can't do that. And obviously, my clinic, my doctor, it's only open like Monday through Friday. I know some clinics, I had a clinic when I was like younger, where I had to go to another town to go to it, but they were open on the weekends, which was great. But this is not that clinic. That was when I was a child. If you have any questions, just message me, shoot me up on any of my social media accounts: Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, if you're friends with me on Facebook. Hoping that everything goes well with my endocrinology date, then I can start T in February, and then February to March, April, May, June, July, August, 6 months. I always watch like all these tea update videos, and like some people's voices, they sound like pretty deep, like at like 3 months or 4 months, but like it sounds like really good, really deep at like 6 months. That is my birth month, so that's cool. I'm like super excited. Like, I'm looking forward to a more angular face shape, deeper voice. Asians, we don't really grow body hair, which is really disappointing. I'm looking forward to like muscle redistribution, and like, I'm scrawny as fuck. Hold up. I got this, my scrawny ass arms. But wait, okay, ready? Like, this is my left arm, this is left, yes, this is left. And then this is my right arm. It's like a lot bigger because I work at a sandwich shop, and this is my slicing arm. Woo. woo! And then, like, obviously, like, I'm looking forward to, like, more body hair. Asians can't fucking grow body hair. Like, my brother, like, he's cis, and, like, he has no hair on his arms, like, no hair on his legs. Like, if you look fucking closely at my arms, you could, like, maybe see arm hair, but, like, not in this lighting, like, in the sun. But I'm also looking forward to, like, my veins popping out, and, like, Tyrannosaurus Rex! Ah! Okay, I'm Jace Daniel. Thanks for watching.